think about you. All I do is come to serve. This song is for those who believe. We are the black, go out there, hang us in trees. Them curses woke me up, told me I'm a son of God. Now I'm trying to make it out of here, this life is hard.
My skin is black upon me, I'm so comely, ain't I? When you see yourself, you looking at the true creator. He told Philip, if you have seen me, then you've seen the Father. Christ is black, so there's no need for me to bother explaining the evidence because it's in the Bible. Your image is in the scriptures, but they have to stash you as pimps, murderers, thugs, and baby mamas. Praise ye the Lord when it comes to beauty, he is the author. The texture of my woolly hair is very unique, but they say it ain't worth the dime, which is crazy to me. The enemy will tear their skin to cause an illusion. We bleach our skin to look like them, you see the confusion. And to my sisters, oh how I love your royal style, and you so beautiful when you go all natural. The only explanation I can give about my nation, they hate us cause they ain't us. It's kinda funny, ain't it? Pure gold, brother, you pure gold. Just let the royalty deep inside of you unfold, cause you are pure gold. Sister, you pure gold. See, there's a beauty deep down inside of you unknown, cause you are pure gold. Brother, you pure gold. Sister, you pure gold. It's real, we all gold. Yes, we are all gold. Pure, beautiful gold. Just let the royalty deep inside of you unfold, huh?
Been reshaped and refined as the gold of Ophir. God's righteous servants are here, bright lights blind like chandeliers. Ain't it ever so clear that we made in this likeness? Propaganda of Esau, it deceiveth the righteous, to the point if it were possible he posed a real threat, even so much that he deceiveth the very elect. This fight is fixed, so with God's will I'm placing my bet. An age where people hear the truth and they tend to neglect. My skin I won't regret. Most of my peers they do. Trying to appeal to them when they just wanna be like you. You define beauty, but you ain't never been taught that trait. As a result of that, I swear we subconsciously hate. We came a long way from slaves on the rocky slave ship, just to evolve the blonde hair and the surgical fit. To some this is a dream, I say reality. We once was kings and priests, now niggas all we see.
Pure gold, brother, you pure gold. Just let the royalty deep inside of you unfold, cause you are pure gold. Sister, you pure gold. See, there's a beauty deep down inside of you unknown, cause you are pure gold. Brother, you pure gold. Sister, you pure gold. It's real, we all gold. Yes, we are all gold. Pure, beautiful gold. Just let the royalty deep inside of you unfold, huh? My skin's black upon me, and that's just how it goes. Gotta purify your impurities to find your gold. My skin's black upon me, and that's just how it goes.
Go, 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 go.
My skin's black upon me, and that's just how it goes.
It's come to
Gotta purify your impurities to find your gold. My skin's black upon me, and that's just how it goes.
It's come to
Gotta purify your impurities to find your gold. My skin's black upon me, and that's just how it goes.
It's come to
Gotta purify your impurities to find your gold. My skin's black upon me, and that's just how it goes.
It's come to serve you.
Shalom, shalom, aloha, assalamu alaikum, hola, hello to you wherever you may be around the world. I am Okoti Tamar and welcome back again to Okoti Speaks. It's been a while, family. It's been a while since I came on here and just gave you my thoughts on all the things that's going around us today in this time, in this hour. It is so very important that we stay connected and that we share information that we come across with one another especially during these times of what we like to call Jacob's trouble. For those that are not familiar with that, I suggest you do some reading in your scriptures, probably pick up and read the book of Ezekiel, find out all about Jacob's trouble. But in addition to that, family, I know that you guys have seen the news and the way the latest talk is no longer COVID so much, even though that's still in the background a little bit. But the major talk of the day is the weather. Texas, unprecedented snow. And I got this special treat for y'all. I bet y'all, maybe some of y'all haven't heard about this. Maybe you have, because you know some of y'all be up on the scenes of what's going on around the world. But I want to take y'all straight into this video that I came across earlier this week. I'm going to share this with y'all and let me know if y'all find this kind of strange. But check this out, family.
هذا الفيديو تمام الساعة 142 الموافق 18 فبراير 2021. تصوير ابو يزن منطقة علقان شمال المملكة العربية السعودية، اهداء لكل من يشاهد هذه الشاشة من شمال المملكة العربية. بداية الخير ما شاء الله تبارك الله. الشليت
That snow in Saudi Arabia.
ما شاء الله صار صغيرة.
We thought we were dealing with something. I guarantee you don't even know how to drive in snow. I have not left my house since Friday because of the snow. That camera don't even want to go nowhere. He like, what is this? I'm gonna take
يا سلام على نزول الثلوج. بس شوف العالم كيف تصور هناك.
That is so not normal.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.
So are we witnessing biblical times? Or should I say times that were described in the Bible for those that don't believe in the Bible? Just very interesting, family. Very, very interesting, to say the least. Some interesting times happening in this hour. Just wanted to start the day off with that one. Because I think before it gets worse, before it gets better, family. That's what I'm thinking. But, you know, I could be wrong.
ما شاء الله تبارك الرحمن. يوم الأربعاء 13 فبراير.
Red flood ravaged streets of in Indonesia. That's interesting, but we're not talking about that. But you see the signs are everywhere around the world. We got the flooding, we got the snow in Saudi Arabia, you got red flood ravaged streets in Yinggat, Indonesia. Very interesting times that we're living in today. Extremely interesting times we're living in today. Let's check out today's top stories and see what else is going on. I'm just going to run through them real quick. Australia to continue talks with Facebook Zuckerberg over media code. What's the code? Don't say anything against Israel, basically. Millions of Texans struggle for drinking water following deadly winter storm. Why? Because the electricity went out. They need electricity pumps to use the pumps at the pumping stations for the water. If you don't have the pumps, then the water can be contaminated. The water because of the low water pressure. So now you got to boil the water. Wow. Okay, in the midst of not being able to travel, the stores, and then the stores, the foods are flying off the shelves, the stores, the lines to go to the grocery stores are wrapping around the corner, all through the parking lot, and people are standing in the cold trying to get something to eat, and there's barely anything in the stores because why? The roads are shut down, can't get anything. And with the truckers, it's a perfect storm is what they call it. Is this what they were saying when it says it's going to be a dark winter? Yes, I think it is mighty, mighty dark around these parts. So then we have Biden to announce his U.S. will donate $4 billion for COVID-19 vaccines for the poor countries. Remember, he said that. Then we have Perseverance rover successfully lands on Mars. Oh, really? So I guess we're going to go back to the moon soon, too, since we're on Mars now. Oh, they're supposed to be planning on trips to Mars so people can start colonizing Mars and they're going to start living on Mars because they have basically destroyed this planet. That's why you have all these weird weather patterns like snow in Saudi Arabia. Life expectancy down drastically during the first half of 2020. For whom? Iran nuclear deal. U.S. agrees to meet Iran. World powers in first step for Biden administration. Oh, they're like, hold up. Y'all can be mad at Israel, but hey, we want to go ahead and respect the fact that we know you already have nuclear weapons. And at any given moment, you can let one off. So let's just go ahead and do the smart thing and make friends with you guys. That's what that is. Okay. New York Assembly, GOP starts impeachment process against Cuomo with push for, shall we click on that? Let's see what they want to push for. We can always go back. Let's see what they want to push for in this hour. Which fish for a commission. A commission to look into why he didn't report that more people in the nursing homes died. They're going to impeach him? A measure, okay. New York Assembly Republicans will introduce a measure to form an impeachment commission designed to gather facts and evidence regarding Governor Andrew Cuomo's handling of nursing home deaths during the pandemic. All righty then. So here's we got the GOP going after the Democrat star governor and how he handled how the people died in nursing homes. They underreported deaths. Wow. Yeah, so they're gonna seek to impeach him over that. Nursing home deaths have plagued Cuomo's response to the pandemic, and is facing heavy criticism with withholding information from legislators. Some have called for his resignation, and others push for voters to recall him. But say if a successful challenger in the 2020 election, the only method of removing Cuomo from office is through impeachment. Wow. So he was supposed to be touted for doing a very good job during the unprecedented pandemic, and he did a good job of getting the numbers in order, getting everything under control. And so, family, that's what we're looking at. That's what we're facing in New York. They're trying to impeach him. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. But here's another story that caught my eye that I want y'all to pay close attention to. This is a story that is going to bring us to our current topic. The current topic of today is prosperity in the American dream. In the midst of a pandemic, how could we possibly know? How could we possibly know what our future is going to hold with people shutting down businesses, then reopening businesses, and then shutting down businesses, then people applying for unemployment checks, then people falling off the unemployment rolls, people starting their own businesses, but then that's determined on if they're going to shut this part of the town down. It's just crazy in the middle of a pandemic. But check this story out. This story comes by way of New York, and I pray that they don't give me a copyright strike for playing the news. New York, a restaurant fires woman for refusing to get COVID-19 vaccine. So I'm going to play this in spurts. So
more than a month and a half into the nation's vaccination rollout, roughly 1 in 3 Americans still say they probably won't get the shot. This is according to a poll from the Associated Press in which many people expressed doubts about safety and effectiveness. Now, among those waiting for more research, a former waitress from Brooklyn who says that her uncertainty cost her job. Tonight, she explained her reasoning to News 4's Jackie Beckford in a story you'll see only on 4.
Now, to be clear, Bonnie Jacobson says she is not an anti-vaxxer. She believes in the vaccine, but that she's trying to have a child. It's been delayed for a year now because of the pandemic, and she's worried that getting the vaccine could delay her hopes of having children even longer.
We were planning on starting to try to have children in August.
But when she got laid off, those plans were put on hold. So when her current employer, Red Hook Tavern, asked her a week ago if she planned to get the vaccine now extended to restaurant workers,
I do have my reservations about it. Just like, I need to talk to a doctor and just see how I feel.
Jacobson, a waitress, says she was initially told it wasn't mandatory, but the restaurant changed course, telling her in an email Monday they respected her decision, but we have implemented this policy to maintain a safe working environment and that getting the vaccine is required. At this time, your employment will be terminated.
And I was just like, wow, really? Like, I just worked for you through a pandemic.
But Jacobson's firing appears to be legal. Companies can fire you for not getting the vaccine.
This particular subject is a really hot topic right now. I haven't heard of a company taking that extreme step.
Employment attorney Felicia Ennis says the EEO makes it clear termination should be a last resort.
Before you terminate anybody, you have to really be able to show why that particular person is going to pose a significant, or they call it a direct threat.
According to the CDC, the vaccine is generally viewed as safe, but the agency says getting vaccinated is a personal choice for people who are pregnant, and that the actual risks of mRNA vaccines to the pregnant person and her fetus are unknown because these vaccines have not been studied in pregnant women.
It's already been postponed. I would hate for something to happen and we get the vaccine and then have to hold off a few more years.
We reached out to Red Hook Tavern. The owner, recovering from surgery, told us he had nothing to say tonight, but would be happy to speak with us Wednesday.
I'm not out for a big lawsuit. I'm not out for money. Just also want to make that clear. It's just, I think it's an important story.
And Jacobson says this is not about getting her job back. She no longer wants to work here, she says, after being let go. In Red Hook, Jackie Beckford, News 4, New York.
So that's what we have facing us in this time, in this hour, family. That's what we have facing us in this time, in this hour. You may be, if you work for someone, your employer can decide whether or not it's going to be in his company's best interest to mandate if whether or not all their employees must be vaccinated in order to maintain employment. Prosperity in the American dream. Tonight I'm having a co-host. Because it's the third Thursday of the month, we're going to bring it back. And that's how I feel. My co-host, Girlie Morley, the spoken word artist, Girlie Morley, will be joining me to discuss the pandemic and the effects on employment. And she's going to show us how she's making money with Forex trading. That's coming up in about 8 minutes. We're going to bring Girlie Morley on. And then at the top of the hour, at our 8 o'clock hour, we're going to bring in none other than Mr. Allende of Blackstar Investment Group. He's going to help us to understand what we should be investing in and how we can invest in our future for ourselves. He has some tricks, some trades, and he's an investor himself. And he is one of us, and he's going to share his secrets with us, family. You want to stay tuned to everything that's coming out. So let's get back to the news articles and what's going on in the world, right? That's what we came here for. That's what we want to understand in this hour. So we talked about New York and Governor Cuomo and the fallout behind not reporting the correct deaths in these nursing homes in New York. But when we look around the world, the coronavirus is affecting everybody economically as well as mentally. No one is really talking about the mental impact of this pandemic. But the coronavirus has affected so many different areas of our life. But the one that's going to come to bear and cause a great uproar is when lots of people start losing their jobs in record numbers. COVID, world lost equivalent of 255 million jobs in 2020, says the UN study. This is news coming from Israel, an Israeli newspaper. In a first study, the UN International Labor Organization found that a full 8.8% of global working hours were lost in 2020 compared to the fourth quarter of 2019. That is equivalent to 255 million full-time jobs, or approximately 4 times greater than the number lost during the 2009 global financial crisis. 4 times greater than the numbers lost during the 2009 global financial crisis, where we already know what that translated to for us. Loss of wealth. In 2009, we lost a massive amount of wealth through real estate. We were foreclosed on because we lost our jobs. We couldn't pay the mortgage. We were tied up in adjustable rate mortgages. We couldn't pay the house note. House note got too high because of the interest rate fluctuating. This is a horrible time. And we lost a massive amount of wealth, prosperity. This has been the most severe crisis for the world of work since the Great Depression of the 1930s. Since surfacing in China just over a year ago, the virus killed more than 2.1 million people, infected tens of millions of others, and hammered the global economy. So you had 2.1 million people died and 255 million people out of work. The UN Labor Agency explained that around half of the lost working hours were calculated from reduced working hours for those remaining in employment, but the world also saw unprecedented levels of employment loss last year, it said. Official global unemployment shot up by 1.1%, or 33 million more people, to a total of 220 million, and a worldwide jobless rate of 6.5% last year. Writers stressed that another 81 million people did not register as unemployed, but simply dropped off the labor market. What are they doing? What are they doing in this time? How are they living? Did they all become entrepreneurs? Oh, they all just out there getting it how they live it. How are they making it? Either they are unable to work, perhaps because of the pandemic restrictions or social obligations, or they have given up looking for work, he said. And so their talents, their skills, hold on, family. My fingers was moving too fast here. And so, where was I? And so their talents, their skills, their energy has been lost to their families, lost to our society, lost to us all. The lost working hours last year shrank global labor income by a full 8.3%. That amount to a drop of some 3.7 trillion, or 4.4% overall global gross domestic product. That's what they worried about. The overall gross domestic product. Because if people are not working, they're not spending. Therefore, the gross domestic product is going to decrease. Inflation is what's about to happen. Bread lines is what's about to happen. Like right now, because of the storm that's happening in Texas, we got lines at the grocery stores that's wrapping around the building, people waiting to go inside. But that's going to be people waiting just to get free food because they have to work. But hold on. Your what do you call it? Papa Joe or Uncle Joe, whoever Joe, the Joe that's in the office in this current administration, he said he has a plan for you all. He has a plan. But before we talk about the plan, let's talk about what Forbes, this is a Nature article, Nature.com says that food systems, diets, and nutrition in the wake of COVID-19 is in dire straits. We're going to read that. The COVID-19 pandemic is affecting food and nutrition security through economic and social system shocks, food system disruptions, and gaps in coverage of essential health and nutrition services. Food systems in low and middle income countries must adapt and strengthen food and nutrition security in the wake of COVID-19. So remember, I just read that Joe Biden said that he's going to give all this money to low income countries to help with the COVID thing. This is part of the nutrition plan. This is part of helping the countries that can't, survive. I think Mr. Joe may want to hold on some of that money for his own self people, considering that in New York, not in New York, in North Carolina, we already have people standing in food lines, but they just not reporting it. People are hungry. Our people are hungry in North Carolina as we speak. They're out of jobs. They have no work. $600 didn't go very far, especially if you owe rent. We need that money. He want to give it to the other countries. He need to take that money and put it right here. They got homeless people. They got orphans. You got elderly. You got widows that need to be taken care of in this hour. But yet we're looking to go and take your taxpayer dollars and send it to a foreign country. And I want y'all to ask me and let me know if that makes any kind of sense at all. Any kind of sense at all. Any kind of sense at all. It doesn't. Food systems in low and middle income countries must adapt. Yeah, they must adapt, right? So the severe acute respiratory syndrome, coronavirus, and the mitigation responses are impacting lives and livelihoods at an unprecedented scale. Existing nutrition challenges, especially in low and middle income countries, have been amplified by pandemic and related economic and food system crisis that disproportionately affect the most vulnerable women of reproductive age, young children, adolescents, and the elderly. In 2019, 690 million people were undernourished, 2 billion were food insecure, and 3 billion could not afford a healthy diet, and 144 million children under 5 were stunted, 47 million were wasted, 38 million were overweight, and at least 340 million suffer from micronutrition deficiency. See, they're putting all this stuff out as an excuse to be able to get into these countries. Well, these countries, the shithole countries, particularly the countries in Africa, that's what they want to do. They want to get into those countries, so they're using this as an excuse so that they can be able to get in. This is a humanitarian thing. After they say they don't want your vaccine. So you're going to go and do the back door talking about, but your children are starving. Well, they've been starving for a long time, and we've been donating to the Africa, save the children and all this here, and ain't nobody, they still malnourished. But let's talk about the malnourished children in the United States, or the overweight children in the United States who do not have a proper nutritional diet because they can't afford it. Right here in the United States. We're going to go all the way across the world. We ain't dealing with it right here in the United States. How many of them numbers, how many of them children, that was just 340 million that suffered, 47 million that wasted, 38 million that were overweight. How many of those are American children? Because this is coming from the UN, right? This is the world, United Nations. We're all part of that, right? One big happy family. I'm going to skip down to this paragraph. Food insecurity, deteriorations in diet qualities, micronutrition deficiency, and other forms of malnutrition system stem from fundamental, complex, and dynamic changes in our food system. Really? Can somebody say Monsanto? Could that be the food change? Farmers can't use their own seeds. We got to buy artificial GMO seeds from Monsanto. Could that be the change in the nutrition? Could that be why people are more susceptible to upper respiratory diseases, because we got all these fake ass foods in our system, in our bodies? Could that be part of the reason? Despite varying burdens and differential mitigation responses to SARS-CoV across the globe, the impacts of national, regional, and local food systems have consistently resulted in jobless losses, income shortfalls, and food shortages. Rising food waste have also been observed in some LMICs due to lower demand for perishables, limited transportation, and storage capacity. So now they're throwing away food. They're starving, but they're throwing away food because they don't have no place to store. Wow, let's just dip down to this part right here. This part. Economic and social system shocks. As a result of COVID-19, the International Labor Organization estimates that 345 million full-time jobs were lost in the third quarter of 2020, and the global GDP is anticipated to be 5 to 6.5% lower than predicted for 2020, while remittances are forecasted to drop in 2021 by 14% globally, triggering a recession. That's because you're not working. When they talk about remittances, that means that your tax dollars going to the taxes, and then they disperse it how they want to. Feel free to disperse it, but then they're gonna tell you that they're taking care of social things, welfare, state-run institutions, your city hall. These things that get federal dollars. That's what they're using that's what they're going to say. Now we got a decrease in the remittances into the tax base. And now we're going to have to start doing some shortages, and more people going to lose their jobs because we ain't got enough revenue coming in, is basically what they're saying. This could impact tax revenues. I just said that. This could impact tax revenues that fund essential public health and social security services. We expect that the national and household drops in income precipitated by COVID-19 will exacerbate the vicious cycle of poverty, ill health, malnutrition in all its forms. Food systems support the livelihoods of 1 billion people globally. Lockdowns and restrictions at the onset of the pandemic led to closures of formal and informal food vending and food services, either temporarily or indefinitely, resulting in widespread job losses. See, it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. So what's with the American dream? Where is the American dream? I just want to know. Let's find out. Let's find out what the American dream, the definition of the American dream. Let's just go ahead and get that. Let's see if we could ever be happy in this United States of America. Definition of American dream. A happy way of living that is thought of by many Americans as something that can be achieved by anyone in the U.S., especially by working hard and becoming successful. With good jobs, a nice house, 2 children, and plenty of money, they believe they are living the American dream. You got 2 children. You may have the nice house. But if you don't keep your good job, you're not going to have the nice house anymore unless it's already paid for. The 2 children, well, they're going to have a hard time supplementing your income because they're not going to be able to find jobs. So you're not going to have plenty of money. So what do? Americans, do you stop dreaming? Because that definition is about to be out the window. The American dream is a national ethos of the United States. The set of ideals, democracy, rights, liberty, opportunity, and equality, in which freedom includes the opportunity for prosperity and success, as well as an upward social mobility for the family and children achieved through hard work in a society with few barriers. In the definition of the American dream by James Truslow Adams in 1931, life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to the ability or achievement, regardless of social class or circumstances of birth. The American dream is rooted in the Declaration of Independence, which proclaims that all men are created equal with a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Also, the Constitution promotes similar freedom in the preamble to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity. Posterity. That means to live on. So, my friends, I ask you, are you living the American dream? Are you prosperous? Well, let's go and see what that definition was. The definition of prosperity, because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. We just watched the video of the girl in New York. She lost her job because she said, I'm trying to start a family. Y'all don't know how the COVID vaccine is going to affect me as a childbearing woman that wants to give birth. Y'all don't know how that's going to affect my unborn child. So no, I'm not going to take the vaccine. And they tell her, well, you don't take the vaccine, you're fired. Wow. So she's a waitress. How many other restaurants are going to mandate that you get a vaccine in order to wait on tables? Because you're constantly working in the public, trying to achieve that American dream, just trying to get a piece of prosperity. Prosperity. The state of being prosperous. Well, I always tell people you can't define a word with the word, so let's go get some synonyms. Wealth, success, probability, affluence, riches, opulence, the good life, good fortune, ease, plenty, welfare, comfort, security, well-being, luxury, life of luxury, milk and honey. Milk and honey. To all my Hebrew Israelites out there, I know y'all know that term sounds very familiar. For all the Christians out there, we know what that term is. Milk and the land of milk and honey. What? That's part of prosperity? Selah. A bed of roses. Prosperousness. Successfulness. Speed. God's speed. Prosperity is God's speed. God be with you. May Yah bless you. Prosperity. Godspeed. Let's see. Y'all know what Biden has in store for y'all. It's not Godspeed, but it's his speed. Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus plan is popular with voters, but it's crashing into strong Republican resistance in Congress. They don't want to give black people other people's money. Wow. Democrats are turning their attention to enacting Biden's rescue package by mid-March. It's garnered strong support from voters by backing it's virtually non-existent from Republicans in Congress. Many Republicans argue the measure is too big to fail, too big and failed in liberal priorities like cash payment program for parents. Now that the second impeachment trial for former President Donald Trump has ended with an acquittal, Democrats are turning their attention to handling Biden's his first major legislative victory. Democrats are racing to enact Biden's $1.9 trillion federal rescue package and kickstart the flow of aid before federal unemployment benefits starts lapsing for millions of Americans in mid-March. Early polls suggest the plan is gathering strong support from the majority of American public, and that provisions are even popular with the substantial chunk of Republican voters. The proposal would provide $1,400 stimulus checks and $400 federal unemployment benefits, and would begin gradually increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour. It also includes significant funding for vaccine distribution and virus testing and the state and local governments. But the package has crashed into strong opposition from GOP lawmakers, and there are few signs so far any Republicans will sign on to it. They say it is progressive budget busting measures that are unnecessary for Congress allocated $900 billion in addition to pandemic aid in December. There are lots of things. So basically, he wants to give y'all $1,400. Now, one time, or is this going to be monthly? That's what I want to know. He want to give y'all $1,400, and then what? That barely pays that. Well, that barely pays my house note. So $1,400. That's all. Democrats argue too small is more dangerous than too big. Democrats are pushing for aggressive federal spending to combat the pandemic, saying doing too little is much bigger danger than going big. Many point to a slow economic recovery. That's all they're concerned about after the 2008 financial crisis as a critical lesson in the peril of enacting inadequate stimulus package. They say, hey, we didn't give the people enough money back then. We got to make sure we keep pumping them with this free money. They're just printing this money. Just pumping free money into the system. So right about now, I'm going to bring in my sister. My sister who's doing some trading of her own. She's hopefully in here. Sister, if you were waiting to come on in, please come on in. I sent you an email already, but we'll go ahead and email you again. Let's see. Go ahead and send that off right quick to my sister. Get her on the line. If not, we're just going to keep on going on. If she's busy, tied up, can't come in to the call, we'll just continue to talk about these things while we see if she's going to get back on with us. If not, we're just going to keep moving right along. I want to go on and get into this. I wanted my sister on the line before I go into get into this biblical definition of prosperity. Just so we have a second witness to what I'm speaking about. As you can see there, we have the Hebrew definition of prosperity. It means biblical usage of it. Beautiful, best, better, bountiful, cheerful, at ease, fair, fine, favor, glad, good deed. Good deed, goodlier, goodliest, goodly, goodness, and goods. Graciously, joyful, kindly, kindness, like it, best, loving. So this is the definition of prosperity. It's Strong's definition says good in the widest sense. Used likewise as a noun, both in the masculine and feminine, in singular and plural. Good, a good or a good thing, a good man or woman, the good, the goods are good things, good men are good women. Also, as an adverb, mean well. So, prosperity is not necessarily equating to wealth, money, or fancy things. That's not where prosperity is. So maybe that's why most people feel like they haven't achieved the American dream, because they don't really understand the definition of prosperity. Just to be good. We say we're good. I'm good. Right? That's prosperity. Just to be able to say I'm good is prosperity. I'm not lying. This is right here. Just say the Brown Driver Biggs definition. Good, pleasant, agreeable. Pleasant, agreeable. Pleasant, good, excellent. So a good thing, benefit, welfare. Wow. So let's look how they use that word prosperity in Scripture. Deuteronomy 23:6. Thou shalt seek their peace. Thou shalt not seek their peace nor prosperity all thy days forever. Not seek their peace. That probably is talking about our enemies. You don't want their kind of peace. Thou shalt not seek their kind of prosperity all the days forever. Okay. Then here it says, howbeit I believe not the words until I came, in mine eyes had seen it, and behold, the half was not told to me. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceeded the fame which I heard. Thy wisdom and prosperity. Goodliness, maybe? Maybe goodliness? Maybe. Let's look at this scripture. This is the scripture for the title of the show. Proverbs 13. We're going to start at verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. The wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. He that spared his rod hated his son, but he that loved him chastened him betimes. The righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. The wanting of prosperity, the wanting of to be good. To be able to say, I have done my just due, and I have afforded my lot to be passed down to my children. And we are good. We are prosperous. Let's see if my sister is in the room. Still not in the room. That's okay. We're going to keep moving on. My other guest, I'm wondering if he got that invite as well. And now it seems that we're having trouble playing my video on Facebook as well. So this is going to be very interesting tonight. But we're going to keep on, guys. I've got some more information to share with you. So as long as you guys are listening, I'm just going to go ahead and keep on going. Perhaps we could, you can go back and watch it. Maybe Facebook could get their act together later. I'm going to keep on putting this information out there. So we're going to move on to the hot topic that Democrats are not only trying to work with Biden to do the COVID-19 relief stimulus package, but they're also trying to work with Biden, trying to get reparations for us. Well, imagine that. So back in 2019, Sheila Jackson Lee proposed that, we take a good look at reparations. She designed a bill, a resolution, H.R. 40, House Resolution 40, and it went on over to the Senate. And, that's where it's at there, so I think this week or last week, they brought it back up because I guess they didn't have, they got tired of talking about Trump and insurrection and, they had to switch stories because the acquittal thing didn't, Donald Trump was acquitted and so they couldn't impeach him and whatever. So they're back on the resurrection. They're back on the reparations kick for us. So it would be nice if they would, hand out this money right about now, considering that, we're going to be facing unemployment numbers and considering we're going to be probably standing out in bread lines. It would be quite fitting for the government to go ahead and kick in and do what they got to do to help us along here. That would be nice. That would be nice. But you know, they gonna do what they gonna do. So reparations last month's violent insurrection at the U.S. Capitol overshadowed the reintroduction of H.R. 40 on January 4, 2021. Introduced by Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, the Democrat from Texas, this bill provides for funding for a commission to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans. Wait a minute. The bill provides for funding so that y'all can establish a commission to study and do research whether or not y'all should give us some reparations. Continuing. The two events could not be more different. One was a violent assault on the U.S. Congress by extremists. The other reflected the deliberate lawmaking process of a modern democracy. In seeking to decertify the votes of millions of Americans, the protesters sought nothing less than the restoration of white supremacists and slogans of yada, 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 yada. By contrast, the co-sponsors of the House bill called the federal government to finally come to terms with the consequences of the legal enslavement and differential treatment of Black people in both the past and the present. So what are we researching? Why do we need to be doing more research? Why do you need to pay somebody to do some research for information you already have? It's clear. We're still here. We're still at the bottom of the economic chain. We're still suffering. We're the ones that's mostly unemployed. We're the ones that, like y'all said, are facing the most threat from the COVID vaccine, virus. We're the ones that must be vaccinated because we're walking around with all these diseases or underlying conditions that the American system has created by giving us poor nutrition. It's like they create the problem and then they rush in to try to fix it. That's the devil. Problem, reaction, solution. Order out of chaos. New world order. The handwritings on the wall, people. Reparations refers to an accounting for harm as a precondition for assigning responsibility. Without understanding the concourse of harm, an apology cannot credibly or morally address the harm, much less compensate for it. Such an accounting for slavery and discrimination has never been undertaken by the federal government. Although this declaration has not been due to a want of trying. Since 1989, when Representative John Conyers, Democrat from Michigan, and members of Congressional Black Caucus first introduced House H.R. 40, neither the House nor the Senate have adopted its key provisions. Then, as now, the purpose of the bill is for the government of the United States to assume responsibility for the historical and contemporary treatment of Black people based on an analysis of evidence, not on good intentions or hopes for a better world. I wonder how long it's going to take this commission to gather enough information for them to decide that they need to pay us. To be sure, Congress apologized for slavery and discrimination in a concurrent resolution in 2009. This resolution captures how an apology without a full accounting does little to advance racial justice, but actually prolongs the harm to Black people. The resolution acknowledged the existence of slavery, the brutalization of Black people, and the injustice of Jim Crow segregation in its continuing vestiges after civil rights legislation in the 1960s. Still, at no point does it refer to centrality of slavery in the economic development of the country, the complexity of the government and the subjection of Black people, or the persistence of white supremacy. Nor is there a single reference to white people. Instead, the resolution shifts the burdens for racial healing and reconciliation to Black people. While admitting that a confession and an apology cannot undo the past, members of Congress hope that it will help bind the wounds and help people in the United States understand that the past and honor the history of all people in the United States. Wait a minute, where the money at? Maybe it's in this article. maybe in this in order, because I remember when this there was one particular white girl that was running for president. She was a Democrat, and she was about reparations. She was about that reparations, but when it come down to it, what she wanted to do was create a panel of black people, a commission of black people, to decide what type of programs they're going to institute, and that's going to be reparations. They're going to institute a whole bunch of programs, federal funded programs. Talk about strategic programs that's going to help us deal with all the past discrimination. So in other words, they don't want to put money in your hands. They're going to start some programs such as like Head Start. Like they started that program. They're gonna start a program particularly for young black people. That's gonna be reparations. Then they're gonna start another program for young black teens. That's gonna be your reparations. Then they're gonna start another program for the elderly people, right? Then they may start a housing program where we're gonna set aside a certain amount of housing vouchers for you guys. Or they're going to come up with some type of special loan program where you can go and get a loan now, but they're not going to give you cash money in your hand like they give to Israel every year. They're not going to pay you proper reparations like they did to the Japanese people. They're not going to do that. They're not going to give you no interest loans like they did the Vietnamese people. They're not going to do that. They're going to set up a commission of black people that's going to decide what kind of programs we need to institute, and they're going to call that reparations. That's what they're going to do. I say, and I wrote this a long time ago. I believe I wrote this. It was called Dear White People. And one day I might read that on the air for y'all, that open letter to the white people, and that was before the movie came out. I wrote the letter, sent it to all the major news people around the country. Then a couple of years later, we got a movie come out called Dear White People, addressing the same issues I addressed in my letter. That's very ironic, but I would hate to think that I'm that important. I'm not. But it's just ironic. So within that letter that I wrote called Dear White People, I said, tell y'all how y'all make it right. Since y'all all of a sudden, want to discuss this, tell you how you make it right. Since we nursed your children, we made your food, we cooked your food, prepared your food, served your food, cleaned your houses, washed your clothes. That's it, nurse your kids? Yeah. Yeah, took care of your elderly. Yeah. We sat with your elderly. We did all those things as slaves. But then, when you set us free, we couldn't even come in through the front door. Even though your child was once on our titty. We're so unclean now. We wasn't unclean when your child was sucking up the titty. We're so unclean now, but we weren't unclean when we were preparing your food. But we're unclean now. So I have my other guest on the line. It looks like I got somebody's in the house with me. Who's in the house? We got Ty on the line. She's in the waiting room. I'm going to go ahead and admit her in. And Ty, can you hear me, Ty? Ty, unmute your mic.
Yeah, hello?
Can you hear me, Ty?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you good. I can hear you good. All praises to the Most High for that.
Okay, good.
All right, so it looks like we back up on Facebook as well, I see. Praises for that too. So Ty, I know I've said a lot, my sister. So I don't know how much of that you caught, but do you have any words to say about reparations, because that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about reparations. Congress trying to give us some reparations. I haven't even read this next article, but based on what this previous presidential candidate wanted to do, they don't want to give us no money, girlfriend. They want to establish a whole bunch of programs for us and tell us, okay, now you can take advantage of all these things since we discriminated against y'all so many times long before. Tell us your take on that, Ty. How do you feel about that? Speak up, baby.
I mean, of course, I think that they would always do that because they're always gonna make us work for the money. They're never gonna just let us have it. That's what all I have to say about reparations, because they've been holding it off for so long. At this point, it don't even make sense. But of course, they're gonna, like I said, make us work for it. They're not gonna just give us free money like that.
Right. So I mean, when you say work for it, I mean, you mean like we're gonna have to participate in the so-called programs in order to take advantage of that? That's what you call work, my sister?
Yes, my sister. That's what I mean. Like, they're gonna make us do some type of work, as in and getting on their programs, doing whatever they want us to do to get what we want, pretty much.
Right. Something that's just this basically owed to us because of the blood, sweat, and tears and the life sacrifices of our ancestors. That's basically where it's at. So, my sister, you are with Forex, correct?
Yes.
So,
I am.
My sister is a day trader. Is that the correct term for that, sister?
Yeah, you could. There's different. That's just different types of traders. So it depends on what time of trader. But yeah, you could call me a day trader. Other things too, but yeah, you can call me a day trader.
Okay, that's proper. So tell us a little bit about Forex and trading and exactly what you do, and then after you tell us what you do, share with the listening audience how they too can become a trader.
Okay, so the foreign exchange market is pretty much the largest financial market in the world, even over stocks. Its daily volume is pretty much up to $6 to $7 trillion.
Ty, I lost you. Uh-oh. Ty, I lost your volume.
Difference between it. We also have other options like digital currency, binary options, and things of that such. And we pretty much everybody pretty much takes a part of this forex market. Little do they know, because they have the foreign exchange booths at the airports. So if you're going out the country, you're taking part of the foreign exchange market. Little do you know, like when you if you're going to a trip to Europe, you have to go to the airport, give them your US money to get the euros. You're doing that, and that is the foreign exchange market. And we just figured out how to obtain that service through our phone and making money off of it, because the ratio of buying currency pretty much fluctuates up and down throughout the day. So say, for instance, if I go to Europe right now and I go to the airport with $1,000 and they give me 500 euros, and I go to Europe, something happens and I turn back and I don't get to spend none of my money. If I give them 1,000 euros back, the 500 euros back, they're not going to give me $1,000 back like I got the first time. The ratio could have gone up and I would get 2,000 maybe. So that's only because when I first got to the airport, before I left the United States, the ratio would be 1 to 2, which means for every 1 euro, it would be $2. But then when I went to Euro and came back, the ratio changed. It could have been 2 to 4. So that's why I would get $2,000 back instead of that $1,000, because at that point, for every $2 for two US dollars, I would get four. I'm sorry, I apologize. For every €2, I would get $4 back. That's why it fluctuates, and we just figured out how to use that through the foreign exchange market on our phones. So my company that I'm with, we're partnered with this company, and it has multiple other companies that are built off of it. It's called Epic Trading, and it's pretty much a Black-owned market level company where we teach people how to use the foreign exchange market and become financially free, which is the goal that we try to set for every person who signs up with us. So, because if you know people like, if you know Robert Kiyosaki, he is like the top selling trading, he's a trading owner, but his courses and such are like thousands of dollars, like maybe $55,000 at the most, just to learn to trade. But with our company, we give it for a cheap price. It's still, you have to pay for it. It's $100, but it's a great investment to yourself, because with the way, if you follow the news or anything on the financial market, the way everything is going, everything is becoming digital. So this is just something that we do. We teach people how to trade, how to invest their money properly, because a lot of people have taken advantage of it through YouTube and such and have not succeeded as much. So that's why we built the academy for that. So that's pretty much what I do. I trade, which my sister has said, I'm a day trader. There's all different types of traders, scalpers. But I pretty much am a day trader / scalper, which is, a scalper is pretty much somebody that holds trades only for minutes or seconds. That's something I do. A day trader is somebody that trades for a full day. So I'm kind of both. But yeah, that's pretty much what the company is. And the way you do it, you can contact me. My sister, I believe she put my social on the flyer. You can pretty much contact me and I can get you set up, because the only way you can really sign up with the company is through a link, kind of like Clubhouse. I don't know if many people on here have heard about Clubhouse. The only way you get on Clubhouse is by a link. It's the same as that.
Okay, my sister, go ahead and give your social media tags out so they can know exactly where to go and to reach out to you. I know you're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, and on Facebook, correct?
Yes, I am. My Instagram is at Girly Marley. It's GIRLYMARLEY. And my Facebook is Tybie Davis, TYBIEDABIS. And my YouTube, you don't really have to contact me on that, but my YouTube is Girly Marley words.
Very good, my sister. Now, this is my bottom line. This is what I want to know and want to understand with day trading. You say that, you can make money. You say you don't hold your investment. What you're saying is you trade and then you can cash out and have that money in your bank account that same day?
Yes. We use a third party, which is called a broker, which is like KOT and Hugo's Way. They're just a person, like a middleman, that we use to transfer from digital to actual money in our bank accounts. We usually use Cash App to transfer from the broker to our bank accounts. But yes, you can physically get your money back. It's not something like it stays on an app or anything. You can actually get your money back through the Cash App, or there are like other options such as Instacoins and stuff like that. But we usually do Bitcoin or something like that to transfer money back and forth from trading into our actual bank accounts.
So to make this real simple, what you're saying is, let's just say this is just case scenario, and don't hold me to these numbers. But if I said, Ty, I want to give you $500 and I want you to invest it, and at the end of the day, whatever that $500 made me, I want you to leave that $500 in there, but I want you to give me all the profit that it made. Is that how it works?
Yes, yes, you can even get the money that you put in also. If you want to take a little bit of your money out, you could take how much ever you want to take out. There's no limit, there's no well, there sort of is a limit. It has to be like at least $10. That's just what the broker, it has to be at least $10 for you to withdraw. But yeah, long as it's $10 or more, you can take anything. You can take any amount out.
So how long have you been trading?
It will be a year in June.
And would you say that your day trading efforts is basically, do you have another job or that's all that you do?
I do have another job only because of the case that I like to, keep abundance of money flowing, if you say. And I also kind of love my job. I ain't gonna lie. I do work for the Louisiana Workforce Commission, but I also run my business during that. Since I have a very fluctuating schedule, I can work with my business and this. I just like multiple streams of income. That's the only reason why I work. But
yes, I like that term. I like those terms. Multiple streams of income. Yes, I like that because that shows me that you're not complacent and you're definitely not dependent on the man to help you stay afloat in this time. So, Ty, tell the people what's a good dollar figure to start to use to get into this market. What would be a smart dollar figure, and tell them how to go about picking which stocks to invest in or what to trade.
Well, you're trading currencies. Well, you have also the choice of like cryptos, which is like the Bitcoin and Ripple and such. But it always depends on you, really, because when we get you onto trading, you will learn how to trade, but you also get the opportunity to see which currency pair fits for you. So for me personally, anything US is good for me because you can pretty much, we decide trades just by the news. Pretty much everything that happens in the news, political, anything such as like Bitcoin going up, all that affects the market. So it pretty much depends on you, whichever currency pair fits you perfectly, because some currency pairs move slow, some move fast, some are unpredictable. It just depends on what kind of person you are, what kind of trader, like I said, what kind of trader you are. It just depends on that. But I personally love anything US because I can actually see, I can see any country's news, but I'm more, I understand my country that I'm already in more than any other. So I personally like any US currency pair because there are over 18.
Okay. So have you considered, I know you say you have another job and you say you do your day trading, you have a lot of flexibility. Have you considered, or is it even allowed for you to trade on behalf of someone else?
Not gonna lie, I have people come to me and ask me to do that. Yes. It's just a difficult situation. It has to be someone that we have like a mutual understanding and mutual trust, because I'm not gonna lie, it's easy for people to scam each other and such. So it is an option for me to do, but for me to do it, because I know people who have done it and they've had bad experiences with it, because I also have mentors myself in this business who have got me onto this and have taught me and everything. So they always advise me on that certain thing. And it just would have to be someone that we have mutual trust. But yes, I've had that circumstance where somebody has come to me and asked me to trade for them.
And then was it successful? Did you make money for them? Or it didn't work out? Sister, are you there? For some reason, I can't hear you.
And yeah, it's just not somebody that we've had mutual trusting or mutual agreements for me to do so. So I have not had that experience yet.
Okay, Okay.
From what other people that I've heard do it, they've had successful opportunities with other people having them trade for them. I have seen that.
Okay, well, my sister, we do have another guest on the line with us. We have our featured guest, Mr. Allende of Black Star Investment Group. So, what I wanted to do, sister, is I wanted you to tell us how we can make money. Then, now I want Mr. Allende to tell us how he can help us invest our money once we make it. Once that money comes from us off the stock market, off the trading market, however you want to say it, off the trading market, we goes into our bank account. We need to take that money out of our bank account and immediately invest it with Black Star Investment, and he's going to tell us how. Mr. Allende, shalom, how are you tonight?
Shalom. And if you ever take your own money and invest it, I'll be very angry with you. No, that's absolutely incorrect. I want you guys to invest my money to create wealth for yourselves. Keep your money wherever you keep it. I would never ask you to do that. My program works where I give you money, a personal loan, so you have 3 months to invest, make some money without any interest. But after that, you will have interest if you keep it longer. I advise you don't. But I'm going to show you tonight how you can take my money, invest it, and after a year, have $1 million liquid in the bank, have me paid off, and you can go on and invest in your own projects using my money. But always use other people's money because there's too much of it out there not to. So I advise you never to use your own money for anything. And good evening. Good to be here. Thank you, Akoche, for having me. This is a pleasure and an honor, and I look forward to the presentation.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and tell the people where you're coming from or where you're located at, and a little bit more about your company and how you got started.
Absolutely. My name is Allende. I'm the CEO of Black Star Investment Group. We have many different facets of investment, but our motto is bringing opportunities to investors and bringing investors to opportunities. I started 20 years ago by developing an economic development center inside of the Marcus Garvey building. It's a building here in Oakland, California, where him and Du Bois were going back and forth in terms of the right direction for African people. I am a Garveyite to the hilt, and I took over as the director there. I was the director for 10 years, and I loved it. And it helped me to establish what the needs of our people are. And once I was able to determine that our people need something before they leave home, a lot of people have after-school programs, they have this program, that program. I realized what our families need, and I do mean our families because I'm not into this, oh, black man this, black woman this, children this. They've got us so confused, we're working against each other by working separately. Just like with this fake virus, they've got us working separately and apart instead of coming together. And so being antithetical to that, my thing was to solidify family, black men and women coming together to do things to strengthen our family. And with that goal in mind, I said, well, I was a teacher for 30 years and that was great. But I realized that the economics of it is even more important so that we can be free of dependency. So once I did that, I got into real estate in 2000. And then I did more development and property management after that. Then I became an actual agent. Then I started investing in hotels. And then I invested in Uber in 2010. And all of a sudden, I said, well, look, I'm in a position now to do things and become an economic activist, which is what I'm known on LinkedIn. So I said, okay, I'm in a good position now to really do things. About 5 years ago, I decided to retire from doing it necessarily as a, something that keeps me tied up. I decided, let me start investing in things, investing in hotels, buying hotels. And then Trump came along with a opportunity zone opportunity. And unlike most folks, I followed the money, not the vibrato, and I didn't care. So I was able to take $5 million from the opportunity zones that he had here in Oakland. And I was able to get ownership, home ownership here in Oakland for 142 Black people. And that was an amazing feat for me over the last 3 to 4 years. So once COVID came, I decided, well, how can I reinvent myself so I can do this myself? So what I did, I got a bank down in Silicon Valley to actually manage my money. But what I decided to do for our people is say, okay, you that has shown commitment to our people, you who have over a 700 credit score, or you who has committed themselves to developing our people, I'm going to give you a personal loan for up to $400,000. I want you to take that $400,000, put $100,000 in your pocket, take $100,000, put it in a real estate investment, take your other $100,000, put it in another revenue generating investment like cannabis, and take that last $100,000 and put it into something you're passionate about, but can generate money. So at the end of 3 months, you've not only made that $400,000 to pay back, but you've made a nice, at least a $100,000 or $200,000 profit, which you could take and put into another investment. But when you pay that money back, I will then give you $400,000 more because you've shown that you have a commitment, you paid it back. Well, I'm going to re-up again. And I'm going to do that after an entire year. So by the end of that year, if you've done your money right, you've done your investments right, you should be $1.6 million in the black. You should be very much very comfortable. And that's what my aim is. My thing is, I didn't see any sense of selling people homes when they couldn't afford to keep them, or just barely affording to keep them. And then when the whims of the United States decided they wanted to have a COVID or create some urgency that they wanted to take your business or take whatever, you would be stuck. And our biggest problem, the only problem we have, because I don't believe African peoples have a problem. If you look at our history, we've done great in every aspect of the world, every aspect of America. We've done better than everybody else. Everybody else just came around sucking off of stuff we did. And I'm not one of those, oh, Black people need to do. No, Black people are doing and have done everything they need to do. So my job is to shut my mouth and not become one of those Black people criticizers or, oh, the Black man has it tough. I haven't had it tough because I do whatever I need to do from these people to get from my people. So, and I don't care what anybody feels about it. But the idea now that I've got to a position where I can help people, this is what I do. And once again, it's about giving you the upfront $400,000 cash to do what you need to do with it. So you could start after a year funding your own programs. So that's what I'm all about. That's what I believe we all should be about. So that, like, for example, Akote talked about the school she wants to start. I want her in a year to be able to fund her own school. And again, there's a difference between income and revenue. What you guys want to generate is revenue, not income. Income is fine, but it's not enough. Revenue is what we have to generate so that we become independently wealthy, so that we don't have to be there every day. For income, you kind of have to be there with that. For revenue, that is something that you can be much more, that'll happen while you sleep. And so that's what we have to be about these days. It can't be about anything. What's happening down there in Texas is horrible, but it's not surprising. They did it with Katrina. They did it in Florida. They did it in Detroit. They do these things to destabilize us as a people. And we have to be in position to respond, not react to these things. And the only way we can do that is controlling our own money. And like Akote is doing, our schools and other things that we need to control So we're not based on the whims of other people. And so once I got to the point and decided no longer will someone ever decide, and I've never let anybody decide, because I've had my own business since I was 15, because I always committed to myself that, number one, my kids will never, ever hear me call anybody boss. And number two, that I will never miss a single event they have because I have to go to work or because I can't make it. It just wasn't going to happen. So based on that 15-year-old commitment, I went to college. I took all the loans they had and bought my first properties. And ever since then, I've just been going forward and I've never looked back. And I want to help anybody out there. And I mean, not help you with a good speech, not help you with a good pat on the back, not help you by talking what black people can't do or what's wrong with us and all that garbage. I want to help you guys with the thing you need the most, the money.
So with that being said, excuse me, my first question will be on the lines of real estate, because I'm a real estate broker and I never have really taken advantage of the monies I've made during the time I've been in real estate for over 15 years. And now I don't believe in people meeting each other happenstance, out of coincidences. I believe that all things happen for his reasons. So that being said, you used to be in real estate. You did the same thing I did: property management. I did project management and renovations and new home construction, the whole gamut in real estate. And so now with you, what you're saying that I need a 700 credit score and a plan to flip a property, if that's what I want to do real estate investment flips. And if I come up with, if I find a property, I show you the property, show you how the property can be turned over and flipped, and give you a price that I can put it back on the market for. You're saying that you'll give me the money to actually buy the property and fix it up and put it back on the market. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I do. That's what I do.
So in other words, you're like a hard money lender.
Yes.
Oh, praises.
But I also, now hold on. But I also do regular conventional. I also do FHA. I do all kinds of loans. But this one I like best for you guys because the money goes straight to your bank account.
Right.
And immediately, for those of you who have a plan, you're already on it and you're already doing. So by the time 3 months is up and that hard money interest hits, you will have paid me back because you will have sold your house. Fixed your house, sold it, and gotten the money already. Pay me back, get me out your life. You still got your $100,000 in your pocket, and then you could take the profit from the property you sold. And by the way, let me make something very clear. I'm not asking anybody for anything. This is one of those multi-level marketing. Well, pay me $2,500 and I'll show you how to do this. I don't believe in that. That's garbage. My thing is, I do what I do just out of love of doing it, period. So, and I help you every step of the way through my program I call the Snake Pit. I teach people how to make sure they have quick turnarounds, how to make sure they know how to fix, how to make sure they know how to flip. I teach them. And for our people, I don't charge anything. There are people who I charge things to, and they pay $2,500 per course, but they can afford it. My people generally cannot. So I'm glad to offer it to my people for nothing. And it's a 12-week, 3-month program where I walk you through this whole thing so you can acquire the wealth that it needs to do it on your own.
Well, family, if y'all are listening to this is some good information. I suggest that you start working on your credit. Remember, we had Mr. Randy Wilson on the program. That was a referral from our brother Aran. And I believe you might have been a referral from my brother Aran as well. Is that correct?
No, I don't know an Arai. I'm sorry.
Aaron?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Aaron. I only know him as Aaron. I apologize.
Oh, I'm
Aaron.
sorry. I'm saying it's his name like it's in Hebrew. It's Aran in Hebrew.
I'm sorry. No, that sounds wonderful. Aran, I'm sorry. Yes, that is the one who referred me. Thank you.
So now our brother Aran, shouts out all praises to the Most High, to our brother Aran out there in California. Just keep giving us all these good people to get in touch with. Now I gave y'all Randy Wilson. He has the credit repair program going on. Now we got this brother that once you fix your credit, now you're going over to this brother. This brother say, come with your plan. Have a plan. What is it that you want? What is it that you want to do? put it in writing. And did you tell me you'll help people write that plan, or is that part of
Absolutely.
that snake pit class?
Yeah, that's part of the 12-week program is that we help people write their business plan. We help people enact their business, and our 19 other investors, the ones who are interested in whatever their business is, will sit in front of them Shark Tank style and bid on their product and their service or whatever it is, just like they do on the Shark Tank, for those of you who know what that is. But they sit and they look and see if they want to invest. And at the very least, they'll get a loan of $400,000. Used to be $250,000. Now it's $400,000. So the very minimum they walk away with is $400,000.
Well, family, we were talking about prosperity. Can you see yourself being good? Can you see yourself being good if you work diligently to improve your credit score? And there's a lot of tricks you can do to help you get your credit score up there. Talk to me on the side, and I'll tell you them tricks to do to get your credit score right. I need to get my stuff together. I got a couple of things that I just refuse to pay them people, but I know it's just a matter of writing some letters, and it's gonna come off. Ain't that right, brother?
That's right. That's right.
So it's a matter of you doing your due diligence so that you can be in line with Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children. That's what, and in other ways for you to get your inheritance, family, you got to make an investment in you. You got to stop investing your money in other people. See, when you go out there and you buy Gucci, you're paying into the Gucci family inheritance. When you go out there and you buy a Porsche, you're paying into the Porsche family inheritance. When you go out there to Walmart, Sam's, you're paying into the Walmart Sam's, the Sam Walton family inheritance. But where's your family inheritance? When you going to start paying into that?
And I got another scripture. Before the inheritance thing, build wealth now while you're alive. Teach your 3-year-old son how to own and start his own business. Teach your 5-year-old daughter how to do real estate. Well, let me tell you, our kids are much more capable. I have a nephew who graduated college at the age 10 because his incredible father was intelligent enough to dig into the intelligence of his son, and his son is far ahead of everyone else because he knew the ability and talent of young people. And I'm telling you, our young African people, by the time they're 10, should be able to have and run their own businesses. That's the way we need to think. That's the way we need to cultivate our kids and get them out of this European-like educational realm and type of thinking, and let our kids understand by the time you're 21, you should have at least $1 billion. That's just the way it is. There's nothing stopping us. And I ask everyone on this call, why didn't you make $1 million this morning? Why? Why did you not make $1 million this morning? I bet you all of you are sitting there going, every excuse you could find maybe, and some people are just finally going, well, we didn't try. Whatever the excuse is, you should have.
So, Mr. Allende, did you make $1 million today?
Absolutely. I have residual income that makes me actually makes me quite more than that, because it's residual income that I don't have to lift a finger for. I get on one slipper, a white sock on the other foot. I go out in my robe to my mailbox and I pick that check up every morning.
Okay, so tell the listening audience how to get involved with Black Star Investment, how to get involved with the Snake Pit classes, and how much does it cost?
Okay, number one, let me handle cost first. 0. Okay, number 2, call me 510, and my assistant, even though they work for me, I don't ever push my people off on any assistant so I could look like something I'm not. Call me directly. My phone number, 510-566-2780. 510-566-2780. And I want to share with you what I've done, what you can do, and what your future can look like. So, yes, please get in touch with me. It's no fun having something if I can't share it with. I forget the song, and I'm not going to do that. But I want to share what I have with anyone out there who is willing to Put the work.
I remember a line from the movie Lady Sings the Blues with Billie Holiday with Diana Ross and Billy D. Williams, and he told her success is
This
nothing
is nothing
without
unless you
someone there to share it with.
share it with.
You
Oh,
remember
that
that
was
movie, my brother?
yes, that's exactly what it was.
We telling our age at that point.
No, that ain't no fun, you know. But yes, so we can do it. We can do it as a people. We need to become dependent. Like, for example, down in Texas, you have people who have icicles on their fans and icicles on their toilet seats because it's so cold. They have no electricity. Why are we not going down there to provide them with the things that they need? Why are we not able or in a position? Because we depend upon someone else to do so. And that's a very bad position to be in. That's nothing but an accelerated form of slavery that we cannot provide for people who suffer from Katrina, that we cannot provide water for our brothers and sisters in Detroit, that we cannot provide education for our children. It's not because of anything else except that we just, I don't know, we just don't, I guess, want to. I don't know. But for those, there are no more excuses. We have it. We have the intelligence. We have the ability. I know we've been beat down, brothers and sisters, but no, we don't have to worry about that. We have everything it takes. Like I said, we've demonstrated that we know how to do everything from science to softball. So let's just make it happen. Let's just make it happen so that we don't have to continue like we've been going thus far.
And I agree 100% with Brother Allende. You all know how I feel about us coming together. Y'all already know that each and every one of us has a unique talent, and that makes up one body in y'all. One body. All of the talents that we have, we can have our own nation. We can have our own nation doing it by ourselves. This brother is a very important brother to get to know. You can see he's not all fluff, but he's making money. I pray to the Most High. I've never met the brother before. We had one conversation. This is another conversation that we're having. I pray to the Most High that this brother is being truthful and forthright. And I pray that you guys will call him and give him an opportunity to show himself for what he said that he is. Because a lot of times our people do not trust our people. But sometimes you got to go out there just by faith. Walk by faith. Because like I said, we don't meet people by happenstance, right? He's either putting these people in our lives as a blessing or putting these people in our lives as a test. But it's up to you to make a choice to even explore it. Are you going to be ready for the test when the test comes to you?
Come on.
Or are you going to be ready to accept a blessing because you stepped out on faith? Either way, you can't lose, but you got to do something. Fannie Lou Hamer said, you can pray until you faint, but until you get up off your rock and do something, Most High is not going to put it in your lap. And I just paraphrase that, but y'all understand what I'm saying. You have to do something, and we have provided you tonight. And my sister Ty, you still on the line? My sister Ty still on the line?
Yes, I am.
Good. So I had it in reverse, sister. Instead of going to Ty first and investing your $500, and then she gives you a return and taking it and bringing it over to Blackstar, get your credit score right. Come up with a plan. What is it that you want to do? What has the Most High gifted you with? What kind of talent do you have? Come up with a plan to make that into a reality, a revenue generating business.
There you go.
Take that to Brother Allende, just that idea, and join a snake pit class. Commit for 12 weeks and come out with a plan. Come out with $400,000. $100,000 is to put in your bank account, so then you can take it to Ty and tell Ty, do what you do, girlfriend. You follow what I'm saying? Or show me how to do what you do, girlfriend.
That's right.
Because it's each one teach one. And then once y'all made all that money, then you come over back to me. and then we're going to go buy a freaking island somewhere. We're going to buy us some real estate. You understand me? We could buy apartment complexes together. I have access to all of that. Right?
Preach.
So we can do it together. One nation looking
Under
out our people, keeping our money right here in this little small circle. Do y'all not see that, family? That's prosperity. It ain't got nothing to do with America. Or some dream. We're not dreaming. Brother, can you go ahead and tell us how you feel about the American dream?
There isn't one. There isn't an American dream, just an American nightmare. African people have to have our own dream. We have to have our own plan. We have to have our own vision. See, if you keep people dreaming, you have to keep them asleep. We don't need to dream. Let's keep our eyes open. We know exactly what needs to be done. For every community, this is the African dream. For every community we're in, we have to have our own hospital, our own grocery store, our own schools, our own bank, and our own armed militia. That's what we need to have to call it a community. If we don't have that in our community, we don't have a black community. We don't have a black business. We don't have a black bank. We don't have a black people. We don't have black anything unless you have control of your own resources. And if you don't, you're not. And for those of you, what she was talking about, walking out on faith, you don't even have to do that because I'm not asking you for nothing. I don't want nothing from you. So that's what makes me different from the lies you've heard before. I'm not asking you for a thing. When you walk away from me, you're going to definitely walk away enriched with 12 weeks, whether you want to invest or not. But if at least you'll have that from other people, they'll have you pay for just that. Me, I'm not asking you for anything. I just ask you for your commitment to our people. So that's what the African dream is. We replaced that with this nonsense they call the American dream because they know there isn't one. They know if you believe in America, you ain't doing nothing but dream.
And you never see the reality. You never see the reality of the prosperity that the Father has for you. That is your inheritance. Knowing that the prosperity lies within you. Then you're good. Remember, family? Prosperity means good, right? Then you're good. You can say, I'm good. But until you come to understanding that you're not good as long as somebody else is determining when you're going to get paid, or if you're going to feed your family, or if you're going to have the money to pay this man that you're renting from, or if you're going to have the money to pay this mortgage. I would like to have money enough to pay my mortgage off, so I don't have to worry about having at least $1,400 that Biden wants to give me. And he only going to give it, I don't think he's going to give that to y'all a month. I think he wants to give that to y'all one time, and then 6 months later, they'll ask for it again. Or, that's insane. That's insanity. And then we're scrambling. We're saying, I can't wait for my stimulus check. Where's my stimulus check? What? That's some crazy mentality. When I told y'all that this COVID thing is affecting people's mentality, they got them waiting and hoping and praying and mad if they don't get a stimulus check. How about you contact Brother Allende with Black Star Investment and see what that you need to do?
510-566-2780. Everybody singing. 510-566-2780. 510-566-2780. Black Star Investment Group. Say Black Star Investment Group. No doubt.
Yes. So family, we gave y'all 2 ways to become prosperous in this hour. You do not need them. We need each other.
That's right.
We need commitment.
That's right.
If you think, stay at home. If you're weak, stay at home. This is for the strong. Because only the strong will survive. Only the strong will survive. But you cannot do that without knowing where your higher power comes from. And if you don't believe on the higher power, you ain't going to never be able to believe in yourself. And you will never be good, i.e. prosperous. So with that, my family, I want my brother Ayende to give us your last words. Tell us again where we can contact you and give us your website and leave the family with some good words.
Absolutely right. So first of all, let me give you my website, blackstarinvestmentgroup.com. blackstarinvestmentgroup.com. That's my website. You can go there and see the auto opportunities we offer, the residential opportunities, the commercial, the financial. We also have insurance. I'm an insurance agent as well. I can give you everything you need right there, one-stop shop, credit repair with Mr. Randy Watson and Wilson, sorry. And so we have everything you need right in one space. And I want you guys to take advantage of it. Quit letting people talk about us like we're a charity case. Oh, well, we need to give to low income and Black people in jail and Black people on drugs. When people hear you saying and repeating these negative, low-life, ratchet, not ghetto, I'm from the ghetto and I'm a hustler, but I don't speak like that about my own. You only have a ratchet mentality when you allow someone to speak about your people who have contributed more to this land than anybody. Matter of fact, this is our land, but we'll get into a history lesson later. This is our land.
Another topic, my brother.
Another topic for another day. But bottom line is you have to carry yourself like that. You got to carry yourself like the Hebrew nation, who are educated, intelligent, who are teaching, preaching the truth. You've got to tell the truth to anybody, because if you don't tell that truth, then they'll meet somebody like me, and you better believe I'm going to tell them the truth. So save them from meeting someone like me by standing up and not being weak when it comes to not saying these negative things about Black people, about Black men, about Black women, excuse me.
Didn't I tell y'all, family? Didn't I tell y'all in 2021, positivity? Positivity 2021, we have no time for negative energy. Dust your feet and walk away. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's right. So 510-566-2780. Give me a call. Let's talk. It's real simple. There's nothing complicated to it. There's a lot of people asking, why don't you have these big complicated contracts? I just write the truth on my contracts. I write it just as it is. And that's exactly what happens. I'm not into all this small little letters and small little lies that get you caught up once you sign the contract. No, you see exactly what's going to happen, and that's exactly what it is. And so I invite you to take advantage of this opportunity. Please, everyone within my voice range, please pass it on. If you don't want to do it, pass it on to someone else.
And so what you're saying, my brother, is that you are licensed to do loans in the 50 states of the United States of America.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if I'm not, I have somebody who is.
All praises. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let you go with that. Brother Ayende, a Black Star Investment Group, 510-566-2780.
510-566-2780.
All right, we have to make you a commercial, sir. BlackStarInvestmentGroup.com. Check out Mr. Ayende, and shalom, my brother. I appreciate you coming on and giving us all this information. Shalom unto you once again, and I will be in touch with you on some other matters. Trust and believe me when I say that.
It. Please do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My sister Ty, are you still on the phone, baby?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, what do you think about Mr. Black Star Investment Group, my sister?
I think he is amazing because through my company, we've had a lot of people similar. I'm not going to even compare. They're not even on the same level as him, but I've experienced people with the similar business, but you have to pay to get the investment towards, for instance, for Forex, because they have companies that do give money, but you have to pay to get that certain amount of money.
Yes, so you have to do down payments or whatever.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you have to do something like a down payment.
Yeah, you have to. It's pretty much paying for a trading account with a certain amount of money, depending on how much you paid. So I've experienced that. I actually do take part in that. I have bought a trading account that I have. They give you about $400,000 at the most. Also, but at the same time, they're unknown people. They're white companies. They are people who constantly take your money because you have to be a great trader to be able to upheld those accounts that are given to you. So what I like about this brother here is that he gives you the money without all that other baggage of you paying and losing money. Because once you, with the companies that I'm referring to, once you like lose a certain amount of money on that, on whatever account you're on, you have to pay again and again and again. So you're just losing money. Well, with him, it's something different. So which is way better. It's a way better opportunity. So I will be getting a hold of him.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah. So I love what he's doing. I love that. It's way better. I wish I had got to him months ago before I did with this opportunity, but hey, things happen for a reason. But I love that. I love what he's doing.
And so, sister, if you had an opportunity to get $400,000, I'm sure you wouldn't put it all in day trading. What else would you do with the monies?
Me personally, what I would do is my sister, I heard that you're in real estate. I wanted to do that. I wanted to buy real estate, buy houses, and fix them up and resell them. I wanted to do that. I wanted to flip houses, and I wanted to also own certain businesses, stores. I wanted to have a Black-owned store. I wanted to do a lot of things that too much for the call, but it's a lot of things I would like to do with that.
So it sounds like you and I are going to be taking a 12-week class together.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Do I have a partner in this? I have a partner in crime.
Yay.
So my brother, you got 2 of the 5. We just need 3 more people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Bring them on for sure. The more the merrier.
If we get 3 more people, Ty, we'll have a class.
We have one more. I'm looking at the Facebook Live. We have one more.
Got one love. We got. Oh, okay. Somebody else want to come in. Okay, so now we got 3, brother, already. See how I do.
Building wealth already. Y'all are just building wealth right now.
All right. So what we're gonna do is, Ty, whoever that is, who's that on the line saying they want to join in with us?
Akuan.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy fix. That's an easy fix. Shalom, Akuan in the building. So, we're gonna get together, us 3, and we're gonna decide when we want to start, and then we're gonna contact you, and you're gonna walk us through it, and it's gonna be so beautiful.
It is gonna be so beautiful.
All praises to the Most High. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have anybody else coming in?
Yeah, got Nicola.
Nicola coming in.
Come on, Nicola.
All right. So now, Nicola, we got 4 people. All right. We just need one more. We hang on the line. We might get one more, right? But we give all praise to the Most High for you, brother, coming in and sharing this information with us. I'm sorry it took so long for me to get back with you, but hey, this was right on time and very, very fitting, especially with the House Resolution 40 going over to the Senate, and they're now debating it, the commission and all of this. We need to let our people understand. Don't wait for them to say reparations. Don't beg them to give us nothing. Let's go out there and get it ourselves, and then they're going to be coming to us and saying, how can we help you? Guarantee you. They always like to jump on the bandwagon.
Oh, they're going to come to us and say, how can we steal from you? Yeah, this time, though, when we build our wealth and you see them coming to the shore, like our indigenous brothers and sisters did in Africa and our indigenous brothers did on this land, this time, shoot them.
Ooh, yeah. That sounds like some NFAC action.
Yes, shoot them this time. Don't let them in. Don't even bother to talk to them. Let them go, because they followed us everywhere. They followed us into Africa. They followed us into America. They followed us into our communities. And every time they followed us, they destroyed everything. So let's not repeat the mistakes.
Yes, we cannot keep doing this. We cannot keep doing the same thing and expect oh, hallelujah, Selah. And with that, family, we gotta go. We gotta go with that. I pray that this podcast has been a blessing to somebody out there. I know that we got 4 people that say we're rocking with Black Star Investment, because we need to get about that. We need to be about our hour's business in this hour, so we can claim our rightful place. Most High don't want no thugs, no thoughts. He wants a royal class of people that are prosperous in his word, in his walk, in the grace that you have right now. So to my guests online, Brother Allende and Sister Ty, I give all praises to the Most High for you guys. Love, peace, and blessings to you all. And to my listening family out there, I'm gonna leave y'all with one of my favorite songs. And you know how I do. I got to give y'all some love on some music. It's called "Separate Yourself" in this hour. Love y'all with the love of the Most High. Shalom.
I know you're trying to do right, but you're surrounded by some people that's evil, and they wanna see your downfall. Cause you're in this truth and they don't care at all. They wanna cause you to stumble, lose your temper, come down to their level. You just really need to move out their way, cause that person being used by the devil. If you wanna live upright on the righteous path, you have to separate yourself from evil and wickedness. Separate yourself from evil and wickedness. And if you wanna seek the Most High and see His salvation and live righteously, separate yourself. Separate yourself from evil and wickedness. What a dope bitch you ever heard.
Proverbs chapter 2, verse 11 through 15. Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things, who leave the path of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil, and delight in the forwardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they are forward in their paths.
You say you want peace and joy and love all around. Take a look at your environment. Yeah, who's around you causing all the havoc? Yeah, anything wicked going on could hold up your blessing. And anything evil will hinder your growth with the Most High. We can't afford to let it in our mind. Live upright, righteous path. You have to separate yourself.
You gotta move out their way.
And wickedness. Separate yourself.
Sometimes you gotta examine everyone around you.
And if you wanna seek the Most High, and see His salvation, and live righteously, separate yourself.
Sometimes you might have to feed somebody
and move out their way.
Just move out their way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who's stealing your joy? Separate yourself from these people.
Move out these people.
Get them out your life.
You have a right to keep your joy, you know what I'm saying?
If they don't like to seek and praise the Most High,
they don't want to praise the Father.
We got a problem.
We got a serious problem.
If people don't want to share with you,
people want to be stingy.
When you're down to your last,
dollar, they don't want to help you
out. Separate yourself from these people.
Just leave them.
so evil and wicked.
Can be so evil, man.
Remove yourself and find yourself blameless before the Most High.
Anything going on could hold up your
blessing.
And anything evil will hinder your growth with the Most High.
It will hinder your growth with the Father.
Hinder your growth.
Oh, you wanna live upright on the righteous path, you have to separate yourself. Give them around these people and wickedness.
Separate yourself from me.
If they always in the middle of some drama, and if you wanna seek the Most High and rest see His salvation, follow them wherever they go.
Live
righteously, separate yourself.
Miss, wanna follow them everywhere they go. Separate yourself, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta go sleep with a tent, yeah. Out in the woods somewhere. You have to separate yourself. Just your clothes and some food. And wickedness. Separate yourself from evil. You gotta do what you gotta do. And if you wanna seek the Most High and see His salvation and live righteously. Sometimes people can be so evil. Separate yourself from evil and wickedness. Separate yourself.
January 2017, we had